When I told Mike, my better half, that I was off out riding a hunk, he raised an eyebrow. Stocky with a bit of attitude, I said. Could see the sweat beading on his forehead. I said, don't worry, Mike, calm yourself. For the hunk in question is Hero's 440 Hunk. Hero is a brand that is new to the UK scene and is being distributed through MotoGB, but it is one of, if not the biggest motorcycle manufacturer worldwide. And that's crazy to me because I hadn't even heard of Hero before the Hunk 440 landed on our shores. So today I want to ride it, see what it's about and see if it stacks up to the competition, which I'll talk more about after the intro. Alright, catch you then! So this is the Hero Hunk 440, an Indian-built roadster from one of the biggest motorcycle manufacturers in the world. It's designed to be super easy to live with a clean and muscular look. Price-wise, it's £3,499 or £3,699 on the road, which puts it right at the affordable end of the 400cc segment here in the UK. If you're a newer rider, a commuter, or just looking for a brand new bike without spending a fortune, it's definitely appealing. Power in it is a 440cc air and oil cooled single, making 27 horsepower and 36 Nm of torque. So it's not built to be fast, this is a smooth, torquey, low revving bike for a relaxed, easy ride. And the 6-speed gearbox helps keep things comfortable at high speeds too. Looks wise, it comes in black, blue or grey. Pretty safe choices from Hero. Suspension is straightforward, a 43mm upside down fork up front, non-adjustable, and twin hydraulic shocks with preload at the rear. Braking comes from Bybury, with a 320mm front disc and a 240mm rear disc. You also get dual channel ABS as standard. Tech wise, it actually does really well for the money, a TFT dash, smartphone connectivity and turn-by-turn navigation. It even comes with crash bars fitted as standard, which is a nice touch most brands would charge extra for. It rolls around on 17-inch wheels for that familiar road-friendly handling. The bike has a 13.5 litre fuel tank, so it should do a decent day's riding between fill-ups. Overall, the Hero Hunk 440 feels like a simple, friendly and approachable motorcycle, one that opens the door for more riders to get onto something brand new without spending a mass amount of money. It's great to see more bikes from India entering the UK market, especially when value like this is front and centre. Alright, let's ride!
Woo! Okay, I'm on the 440 Hunk. Oh, and I can already tell I am going to enjoy this bike in the same way that I enjoy the GB350 from Honda and I enjoy Royal Enfield's HNTR 350. Yeah, this is giving similar vibes. Hopefully we'll come across some traffic today so we can test out the weaselability of this bike. But I think it will be high. Off we go, baby! Oh, what a nice little thing. You know what? Already sounds really nice. Oh, okay, yeah, we are coming up to traffic. How wide are these crash bars? They're not too bad. We should be able to do a little bit of a Weasel McGee here. There we go. We do have crash bars as standard on this bike. OEM practices, excuse you, Hero. Bringing the goods. Thank you, sir. I don't know if I can quite get through. Thank you! Legend!
through here. Have to be a little bit patient. There we go. Weasel, weasel. Sneaky little weasel. Right guys, this is the first proper, I think, road ride of Hero's Hunk 440. And I say that because they had a launch. Hero had a launch through MotoGB at Oulton Park, which I unfortunately couldn't make.
But you know what, I am actually excited to ride the Hero Hunk in, you know, an actual real world environment, because let's be honest, people that are going to buy this are going to be commuters, they're going to be people that just want something fun for a weekend just to step out on. So I think actually taking this to the roads for a proper ride is kind of more realistic to how it's going to be used, I think. To me, this bike is very much going to be competing with the likes of Honda's GB350 and Royal Enfield's HNTR 350. There we go. And those bikes are 20 horsepower bikes. This has 27, so we've got a little bit more. So the price of this, it does come in slightly less than Honda's GB350, and it comes in slightly less than the HNTR as well. It does, I believe, come in around the same price as the BSA Bantam, the 350. However, I think that may just be like an introductory offer from them. But yeah, it's reasonably priced. What do I like about it so far? Well, so far, I think its looks are very attractive. It's pretty. The rider POV, what you see here is just lovely. We have a TFT dash, and it's in a rectangle, but you get an optical illusion that it is the full dash because of how cleverly they have optimised, you know, all the lines around it and stuff like that. What can you see straight off? Well, you've got your miles an hour nice and big, you've got your revs at the top, you've got your odometer, and then you've got your fuel range at the bottom. You also have a gear indicator. Make sure it's clear. Yeah, proper pretty cockpit. And I like the fact that you can see the crash bars, which are OEM bits of equipment. We'll tuck in here, we won't be too greedy. But yeah, I just think it looks real nice. Black bars, you know, you can see the tops of the forks. The forks are upside downers, gold. And I don't know, I just think that a lot of attention has been put into how this bike looks. Visually, it's quite striking and it's very up my street. The only thing I find slightly odd is like the fork combination with the twin rear shocks at the back. But whatever floats your boat, Hero, whatever floats your boat. Some things to note though, these mirrors, they're like funhouse mirrors, so you know when they're like really distorted and weird. Yeah, that's what they're like. But the engine, oh man, it's lovely. It's peppy, it's smooth. You know, it's not too dissimilar to riding, say, you know, the Honda GB350 in my opinion. Another thing I like, some attention to detail. We've got a nice USB plug-in charger there. And it's in a good place as well. It's not under the seat and really hard to reach. It's literally there, close to where you'd mount your phone on your bars, so you can plug it in and keep it charged while you're commuting or travelling. Oh no, Ninos, that's not a good sign, is it? Uh-oh, I hope they're alright. Now, I think it's got a beautifully comfy seat. On first impressions, you know, I have only really put an hour of riding time into this bike at the minute. But yeah, it seems to feel really, really nice. How it'd hold up after many, many hours in the saddle, I'd have to put more miles on it and ride it for a few more hours. But so far, you know, it feels quite plush, quite nice. Another thing that I like about this, so we have a nice accessible seat height, 803mm, and this is what it's like for me to sit on it. I'll insert some overlay on the screen now. I'm a 5'4" individual with a 29-inch inside leg measurement, or you could say I'm a 162cm individual with a 73.66cm inside leg measurement, depending on what metrics you prefer. And this is what it's like for me to sit on the bike. The weight of this as well, again, nice and low, 187 kg. I mean, you guys might think that's heavy actually, but I've just jumped off a bender, which is 287 kilograms. So yeah, at 187 kilograms, it feels comparatively light. So just broadly speaking, it's quite a light machine. I know there are some people that aren't satisfied unless a bike's 160 kg, and anything above it they're like, that's not light, what are you smoking? But yeah, for being a small ass human like myself, it's light, and I appreciate it. We've got LED lights all around on this, so everything's super modern looking. It doesn't look dated at all. In fact, it looks very with the times. It's nimble, it's agile, it turns lovely. But yeah, so far my impressions are that it's just a nice little thing. We've got, you know, brakes by Vibri, calipers by Vibri I should say, and it will stop. The lever pull feels a little bit wooden, but it will get you stopped, because with 27 horsepower, you know, you're not gonna be having to come to a stop from insane speeds, are you? Suspension so far, I mean, I'm like 9 stone, and yeah, it's non-adjustable at the front. We've got preload adjustability at the rear. I believe that the preload is kind of just at the middle of the road with me on it at the minute, and I find it fine. The clutch, super light, really like that about it. Nothing worse than a heavy clutch. And then when you wind it on out of the corners, the pull is just nice and gradual, but slightly urgent. You know, it's not going to rip your arms off, absolutely not, but it does make an effort to get moving. Oh no! Yeah, it does make an effort to get moving and grooving, shall I say. Oh wow, look at this. This is an autumn scene of dreams. I have to say though, as you know, somebody that might be stepping up from a 125, or somebody that just wants a second bike to bimble around, potter around on, you know, I can see, I think these will sell. I think they will sell. I can see it's a red light up there, so we'll just try and jump a few places. We'll not get super cocky with it, because we don't know what's coming over that narrow bridge. Could be a big HGV, so we'll not get too greedy. Not too bad at finding neutral either. So I think there are some issues here with this range, because it's dropped down again to 16. Now when I first jumped on it and went up the road, it said 16, so I spun around to a fuel station, managed to fit like £1 odd in, and then when I switched the bike off, it jumped to 260 mile range. I thought that's more like it. So that's definitely a little bit of a negative, because we need some reliability and consistency when it comes to the range. It's quite important, especially as I don't really understand the bar system. Maybe the bars will go down, or like the grey will lessen. But yeah, the fact that it says 16, it's like defaulted back to 16, which is not great. But if you were to own a bike like this, I'm not excusing it because it shouldn't do it, but you would get a feel for how many miles to a tank you'll get. And then if you are unfortunate enough for it to do that, you'll at least know what margins you're working with and how far you can go. Meow. Oh, it handles lovely. Meow. Oh yeah, I've got a smile right on my face. Yeah. I like that. That was fun. That was nice. So no fancy tech or anything like that. Of course you've got ABS though. But yeah, I must say, I'm actually really enjoying it. Really, really enjoying it. I think that when these start becoming more popular on the UK scene, I think Hero will do really well with this and fly with it, because yeah, it's quite a fun bike. I'm really actually enjoying riding it. It does just feel like the likes of the Honda and the HNTR. It just feels great, lovely, predictable, fun, light, low. So we're not far off the motorway, baby. We'll do a junction. See what we can get this bad boy up to. See if the Hunk can perform. Alright, little junction stint. Go on, Mick. You can go, my friend. There we go. Committed. We're in third gear, little short shifteroo. Motorway's looking pretty clear, touch wood. Let's give it a blast for a junction, shall we? If that is at all possible. Hopefully. Okay, second gear. Let's go, baby. I'll be better without this Merc in front. But we're already up to 55. Let's indicate. Alright. So we're in fifth gear, we're doing 75. And we've just got up to 6 and we've still got pull. We've got pull in this gear, so it's definitely an advantage over, say, the GB350 and the HNTR 350, because it still pulls in 6th, and that's good. And we're at motorway speeds. We're being legal, we're not holding up any kind of traffic. We're alright, we're doing okay. Well, team, yeah, that helped me learn a bit about the bike at kind of top end speeds, and I suppose that is a bit of a differentiating factor from its competition, you know. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the ride bit. I'll take you to the outro. Right, team, I'll pop my pros and my cons on the screen now. Please feel free to pause at your leisure so you can digest them. But yeah, overall, I've really enjoyed it. I think for the money, it's great. It rides really, really pleasantly. It looks really, really pretty. And it's priced really, really nicely. So I don't think they'll go too far wrong with this. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, well I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit that subscribe button, do me a big favour, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Alright, take care. Bye!